The Winnu are the best Mechatol Rex faction in Twilight Imperium 4th edition. Or are they? It seems like nobody knows where to rank these guys in the faction hierarchy. But that won't stop me from trying. Here is the definitive guide to playing and hopefully winning as the Winnu. Let's start by analyzing their faction abilities. They have two main abilities, the first of which is Blood Ties. You do not have to spend influence to remove the Custodian's token from Mechatol Rex. This ability is strong, but also contingent on you being the first player to reach Mechatol. Not needing to spend the 6 influence does make things a lot easier, though. All you need to do is get 1 infantry on the planet, and boom, free victory point. They also have the ability Reclamation. After you resolve a tactical action during which you gained control of Mechatol Rex, you may place 1 PDS and 1 space dock from your reinforcements on the planet. It's obvious why Winnu are considered the Mechatol Rex faction. This ability allows them to immediately lock the planet down, so to speak, prevent bombardment, defend your units a bit with space cannon, and get you ready to produce some units to further defend the system. A free PDS and space dock is huge, no matter how you look at it. Think of it as a free use of the construction strategy card's primary ability. Their Mech Reclaimer works synergistically with the aforementioned ability, but is more versatile. It reads, after you resolve a tactical action where you gain control of this planet, you may place 1 PDS or 1 space dock from your reinforcements on this planet. So if your Mech is the unit you use to claim Mechatol, you could put down 2 PDSs and a space dock in just one single turn. Your Mech's ability can be used on any planet, allowing you to build up plastic expeditiously. They have 2 faction technologies, one blue and one yellow. First is Lazek's Gatefolding, which has 2 blue prerequisites, and reads, during your tactical actions, if you do not control Mechatol Rex, treat its system as if it contains both an alpha and a beta wormhole. Additionally, action. If you control Mechatol Rex, exhaust this card to place 1 infantry from your reinforcements on Mechatol Rex. This is very strong. I've had games where I was able to claim Mechatol on turn 1 because I managed to research this tech. And if you do control Mechatol, having 1 free infantry per round is nice, especially since it's an action and can be used to stall when needed. Their yellow tech is Hegemonic Trade Policy, which has 2 yellow prerequisites, and reads, exhaust this card when 1 or more of your units use production. Swap the resource and influence values of 1 planet you control during that use of production. You don't have to be the world's greatest detective to see what the idea is here. Claim Mechatol, plop down your free PDS and space dock, and produce using Hegemonic Trade Policy, turning that 1 into a 6 and letting you build a whopping 8 units in 1 production. Winnu have a rather unusual start. Their starting tech is just any tech that you choose that doesn't have any prerequisites. I recommend anti-mass deflectors. I'll give a specific tech path and rationale later in the video. Their starting units are a carrier, a cruiser, 2 fighters, 2 infantry, a PDS, and a space dock. The PDS and space dock are great to start with, but their starting fleet is the worst in the game. Starting with 2 infantry is just terrible, no matter how you slice it. Their starting system, called Winnu, is quite good with a resource value of 3 and an influence value of 4. It's a single planet and therefore easier to defend. Let's not beat around the bush here. The Winnu have a bad start. Yes, you get to pick your first tech, which is cool and unique, but the decision is already made for you by their faction techs. Their home planet is good on paper, but the 4 starting influence has less utility for them, since they don't need influence to take Mechatol. They do get 3 commodities, which is solid in terms of their start, so we'll take what we can get here. They have a valuable faction promissory note called Acquiescence. When the Winnu player resolves a strategic action, you do not have to spend or place a command token to resolve the secondary ability of that strategy card. Then, return this card to the Winnu player. This one should be an easy trade-off every round. It's simple, just look which player has the lowest command token count and negotiate a deal with said player. Let's discuss the best flagship in the game, or should I say potentially the best defensive flagship in the game, Sally Sai Korin, if I'm saying that correctly. The Winnu flagship costs 8, rolls 7 times 1, has a movement value of 1, and a capacity of 3. Sounds totally unremarkable, right? Not so fast. Let's read its abilities, one of which is sustained damage, unsurprisingly. The other reads, when this unit makes a combat roll, it rolls a number of dice equal to the number of your opponent's non-fighter ships in this system. In case you were wondering, this ship becomes the best unit in the game if facing 7 or more non-fighter ships into space combat. This flagship is best used to defend Mechatol, clearly. The larger your defensive forces are, the more ships the enemy will be required to attack with, which plays right into your hand and only makes the flagship stronger. The Winnu flagship is situationally very strong and really starts to shine in the late game. Winnu's leaders are superb and are by far the best part of their kit. First, we have their agent, Barakhan, who is unlocked at the start of the game. His ability reads, when one or more of a player's units use production, you may exhaust this card to reduce the combined cost of the produced units by 2. That's right, -2 on your productions throughout the entire game. You can easily pair this with Sarween tools since you're going down that yellow tech path anyway. Once the Winnu get to building ships, they can do so quite well. This is important because their starting fleet is so dainty and ineffectual. Second is their commander, Rickani. I like these names. Unlocked by controlling Mechatol Rex or entering into a combat in the Mechatol Rex system. During combat, apply +2 to the result of each of your unit's combat rolls in the Mechatol Rex system, your home system, and each system that contains a legendary planet. This can be gotten immediately and is a huge bonus to all of your rolls for the rest of the game. +2 is a big deal. Dreadnoughts hit on 3, War Suns hit on 1. Winnu's gameplay is reliant on your ability to take and hold Mechatol Rex. A common novice's mistake in TI4 is to lock down Mechatol Rex while leaving your home system lightly defended. This commander makes it significantly easier to defend both, as well as any legendary planets you come across. And finally, we have their hero, Matheus, unlocked by having 3 scored objectives. Imperial Seal action. Perform the primary ability of any strategy card. Then choose any number of other players. Those players may perform the secondary ability of that strategy card. Then purge this card. This may be the best, or at least the most consistently useful hero in the game. The application is straightforward. Use Imperial when you control Mechatol to score a free victory point as well as 1 or 2 additional ones from public objectives. A hero that lets you theoretically score 3 VPs, Prophecy of Kings definitely gave Winnu a big boost. Once it's unlocked, you simply have to wait for the correct moment to use it. Let's say you get the Imperial strategy card. Just think how massive of a turn you could potentially have. If someone makes you an offer you can't refuse, let them use the secondary part. If not, keep this top tier hero all to yourself. Let's move on to first round, strategy, and general objectives. What cards should these purple elitists take? Technology is a solid first card to grab, especially if you want to take Mechatol on turn 1. If you're adjacent to a wormhole, try to get that Lazx gatefolding tech. This won't happen every game, but it's still an excellent first choice. Warfare is also an excellent choice considering your meager starting fleet, and it will prevent you from being doomed to that slow start. However, if another player takes Warfare, when they use its ability, I recommend using the secondary and using Winnu's agent to build a carrier and a mech. Then use the mech's ability to get an easy space dock off. Politics is a safe bet to ensure that you can take Mechatol at the start of the second round, and a lucky action card pull could help offset their weak start. Which of the 3 you select should be dependent on which allows you to reach Mechatol Rex faster. Then, obviously, once you take Mechatol, with the help of the custodians who left you a key under the doormat, grab that purple strategy card Imperial whenever you can. If you take tech, research Gravity Drive first. Here's the exact tech path I would follow. Anti-mass deflectors, Gravity Drive, Sarween tools, Plasma scoring, and/or Magian defense grid, Lazx gatefolding, Dreadnought 2, PDS 2, Gravitron laser systems, hegemonic trade policy, fleet logistics. Where you go from there is up to you, but those are the essential techs that you need. Fleet logistics is important to get maximum value out of your hero when you do decide to use it. You can get PDSs very easily with your mech, so you will benefit greatly from researching PDS2. You get to see the game board before you choose your starting tech, so you will know if there's an asteroid field between you and Mechatol or not, or between you and a legendary planet you want to grab. Some might be tempted to take Dark Energy Tap instead, with the aim of offsetting their weak start with lucky Frontier tokens, but in my opinion, Winnu doesn't have time or the fleet to prioritize exploration in the early game. Same goes for Scanlink Drone Network. Mechatol and Legendaries cannot be explored, so this tech is just a poor choice on all fronts. Unlike some factions, Winnu doesn't have a mandatory tech path, so whatever path allows you to get Mechatol, that's the right one. The Winnu strategy is quite straightforward. Build a prodigious fleet on Mechatol, legendary planets, and your capital. Use your abundant influence to dominate the agenda phase. You should be the player who's doing the most talking and the most negotiating. Mechatol Rex is at the center of the board for a reason. Identify the players who have the least incentive to take Mechatol and open diplomatic channels with them, but never trust anyone. Trust is a luxury the Winnu do not have. At this point in the video, you're probably thinking that save for their subpar starting fleet, the Winnu sound like a top tier faction in terms of their abilities, faction techs, their mech, leaders. Let's talk about metagame and game theory for a minute. Winnu are one of the most one-dimensional factions in TI4. Their game revolves around Mechatol Rex. There is one key issue. Every player on the board is astutely aware of this. No savvy TI4 player is going to let you waltz right into Mechatol. Players already have massive incentive to take Mechatol. A victory point, the ability to instantly score VPs with Imperial, 6 influence, the ability to help score certain public or secret objectives, and so on. When they're playing against the Winnu, the calculus changes, but not in the Winnu's favor, because now they are not only benefiting themselves by taking the planet, they're also shutting you down and stopping you from getting a huge amount of value from it. Stopping Winnu from taking Mechatol is very easy, and other players have clear incentive to do so. No player is going to let Winnu claim legendary planets or Mechatol, build fleets at roll +2, and run away with the game. What you'll often see is an early attack or team up against Winnu on the first or second turn, and the Winnu's weak starting fleet gives them no means to retaliate. More players are in the game, the worse it is. Imagine being Winnu in a 6+ player game. There is a near 0% chance you'll be the one to plant the flag on Mechatol, and if you do manage to, you won't hold it for long. Winnu are the faction who are somehow stronger on paper than actually over the board. I'm not saying you can't play the Winnu. You can, and I have with success in the past. Winnu are well suited for scoring the following public objectives: achieve supremacy, become a legend, construct massive cities, protect the border, build defenses, engineer a marvel, improve infrastructure, make history, and sway the council. If your enemies box you out of Mechatol Rex, focus on other objectives while planning your moment to take it back. Your mech and your agent allow you to develop rapidly. PDS-2 is a powerful defensive and deterrent unit, especially with the crucial plasma scoring and gravitron laser system technologies. Their commander and the addition of legendary planets in the Prophecy of Kings expansion make Winnu less one-dimensional, to be fair, than in the base game. Additionally, their hero allows for crazy swings in the endgame, so never count the Winnu out. That's the beauty of TI4. No situation is hopeless, and you can play a winning game with any faction. Some people hate playing as a Winnu, others love them. I personally belong to the second group because I always welcome a challenge. I've noticed a reverse bell curve where the majority of Winnu players are either ranked novices or adroit TI4 veterans. But I digress. If you enjoyed this guide, please like, comment, and subscribe for more vids like this one. Thank you for watching, I genuinely appreciate it. Bye.